The way you walk to your kitchen can guess the year you'll die. Scientists once timed how fast 34,000 people walked, then waited to see who lived. The slow ones started dying first. Not the oldest ones, the slow ones, at every age. By the end of this video, you'll do a 10-second test right where you're sitting with no tools and no doctor. And you'll know which side of one invisible line you're standing on. I call it the pace line. Stay with me, because most people are on the wrong side of it and have no idea. Here's something you didn't know about yourself. You don't have one age, you have two. The first one is on your birthday cake. You know that number. You can't argue with it. The second one is hidden. It's your body's real age, the true age of your heart, your brain, your bones, and it doesn't always match the cake. There's a clock ticking inside you, and it runs at its own speed. Some people's hidden clock runs slow. They're 70 on paper and 50 on the inside. Some people's clock races ahead. They're 50 on paper and 70 on the inside. So the big question is simple. How fast is your hidden clock ticking right now? For most of history, there was no way to check without a lab. But it turns out the hands of that clock are showing on the outside, all day long, every time you stand up and move. The hands of your hidden clock are your walking speed. Not how far you walk, not how long, how fast. It sounds way too simple to be real. A walk is just a walk. You've done it since you were 1 year old. But that's exactly why it works. Walking looks easy, and it absolutely is not. Think about what one normal step really takes. Your eyes measure the floor. Your brain plans the move. Your heart pushes blood. Your lungs feed that blood with air. Your nerves fire in the right order. Your muscles pull. Your balance catches you so you don't fall. One step uses your brain, your heart, your lungs, your nerves, your muscles, and your bones, all in the same second. So your walking speed isn't one little thing. It's a live reading of your whole body at once. When any system gets weak, your speed quietly drops. You won't feel it happen, but the hands of the clock move. And here's the part nobody tells you. This number doesn't crash. It slips. A tiny bit each year. So small you can't feel it. Your doctor almost never checks it. It never shows.
Up in a blood test. Nobody sends you a warning letter, so it slides in total silence, year after year, until one day you're on the wrong side of the line and you never once saw it move.
That silence is the enemy. So let's break it. Let's catch the number before it catches you. To do that, I need to show you the study that started all of this, because the size of it will stop you. Scientists pooled together 9 long studies from around the world, tens of thousands of older adults, 34,485 people to be exact. Every one of them was timed walking at their own normal pace, the kind of walk you'd use to answer your front door. Then the scientists followed them for years and wrote down one cold fact about each person, alive or not. When they lined everyone up by walking speed, a clear split jumped out. There was a certain speed that acted like a fence. On one side, people lived close to what you'd expect for their age. On the other side, they died sooner, a lot sooner. That fence sat at about 0.8 of a meter per second. In plain words, that's slow. Slower than the pace you'd use to
Cross a quiet street, walk under that speed, and the risk climbs. Walk over it, and your odds get better.
And it didn't stop at the fence. For every small bump in speed, survival improved again. Step by step, faster meant longer. A brisk walker in their 70s could carry the life expectancy of someone years younger than them. That's the clock. Same birthday, slower hands, more time on the dial. Let me make that real, because the scientists watched this happen in thousands of real lives. Picture 2 men on the same street, same age, same town, same gray hair. From the outside, you'd guess they have the same road ahead. The first one walks like he's got somewhere to be. He crosses the road before the light blinks. He carries his own groceries up the steps. The second one shuffles. He waits for the light to give him extra time. He rests halfway up the stairs. On paper, they're twins, but their hidden clocks are running at completely different speeds. And in study after study, the brisk one, on average, gets years the slow one doesn't.
Not because of luck, because his whole engine is in better shape, and his walk was telling you that the entire time.
Now you might be thinking, sure, that's old men. Of course the slow old guy is closer to the end. Hold that thought tight, because the next study takes the floor out from under it. This is where it stops being about the elderly and starts being about you, right now, even if you feel completely fine. Picture a town in New Zealand called Dunedin. Scientists there did something almost no one ever does. They took about 1,000 babies, all born in the same year, and they followed them for life, tested them, measured them, year after year for over 40 years. When those people turned 45, the researchers timed their walking. 904 of them, middle-aged, working jobs, raising kids, most of them feeling perfectly healthy, with no idea anything was wrong. Then they slid each person into a brain scanner. And the slow walkers at 45 had smaller brains. The thinking part, the outer layer, was
thinner. They had more tiny spots of damage inside, the kind tied to clogged little blood vessels. In plain words, the slow walkers had older brains. At 45, while they felt fine.
It didn't stop at the brain. The slow walkers had weaker lungs, worse teeth, weaker defenses against sickness. The researchers measured aging across 19 different parts of the body, and the slow walkers were older across almost all of them. Their hidden clock was already running fast, decades before anyone would think to check. Then they did one more thing that gives me chills every time. They showed photos of these 45-year-olds to 8 strangers and asked them to guess each person's age just from the face. The slow walkers looked older. Their faces had aged faster too. The way these people moved their legs was already showing up on their skin. So your pace line isn't an old age thing. By the middle of your life, your walk is already telling the truth about how fast you're wearing out. And now the part that truly stopped me cold. Because the scientists could see this coming long before.
For age 45. Remember, they'd followed these people since they were babies. So they pulled the old files and looked at the tests these kids took at 3 years old. 3. Barely walking, couldn't tie a shoe. And those toddler scores, how they handled words, how they handled frustration, how they controlled their tiny bodies, lined up with who would become the slow walkers at 45.
Sit in that for a second. A test from before you could tie your own shoes already knew something about how you'd walk in your 40s. That is how deep this runs. That is how long your hidden clock has been ticking. I know what some of you are feeling right now, a little cold spot in your stomach. You're replaying your day in your head thinking, wait, am I one of the slow ones? Good. Hold that question. Because in a few minutes I'm going to hand you the exact test in your own home, no guessing. But first, here's a check you can do today without timing a single thing. The crosswalk. In a lot of towns, the walk signal at a crosswalk is set to 1 pace. The light only gives you enough time if you can move at about 3.5 feet every second. That's the speed the city planners assumed a healthy adult can hit. So pay attention next time you cross a street. Did you reach the far side?
Day with time to spare. Or were you still out in the road when the lights started flashing, maybe with a car sitting there waiting on you? If you can't beat that signal, your hands have already drifted below the line. Your own neighborhood just handed you a free reading of your hidden clock.
Now, before I show you the way out, I want you to meet someone real. His name was Fauja Singh. He was born in a small farming village in India more than 100 years ago. And here's the first thing you should know about him. As a boy, his legs were so thin and so weak that he could not walk at all until he was 5 years old. The other children laughed at him. His own family was afraid he was broken for life. But he grew up anyway. He became a farmer. He worked the land with those weak legs for decades. An ordinary, quiet, hard life, the kind millions of people live. And then, in his late 80s, life took almost everything from him. First he lost his wife, then he lost his son. One blow, and then another, in a short stretch of time. The grief swallowed him whole. He stopped going out. He would just sit, an old man with nothing left, staring at the wall, waiting for his own clock to finally run down. That's where I'm going to leave him for a few minutes. An 89-year-old man, broken by loss, certain his story was already over. Hold on to that picture of him in the chair, because what lifted Fauja Singh back up onto his feet is the whole point of this video, and I promise you will never guess it. Keep him in your mind. We are coming back to him. Because here's the good news, and it's enormous. Your pace is not your fate. The hands of that clock can move both ways, and the proof is staggering. For this, scientists went even bigger. Over 400,000 people in Britain, 405,981 to be exact. They checked each person's walking pace, then looked deep inside their cells at something called telomeres. Let me make telomeres dead simple. You know the little plastic cap on the end of a shoelace? The bit that stops it from fraying? You have those on the ends of your DNA, inside every cell. They're
Protective caps. And as you age, they get shorter. So the length of your caps is a real measure of your true age, the hidden one, sitting under your birthday.
the brisk walkers had longer caps, younger cells. And when the scientists ran the numbers, they estimated that a lifetime of brisk walking could leave you the equal of 16 years younger on the inside by the middle of your life. 16 years, let that land. Not 16 years in the mirror, 16 years off the clock that actually decides how long you've got, from walking, just from how you walk. And this study did something clever, so you know it's not just a fluke. It used people's own genes to show the arrow points the right way. Faster walking likely causes the younger body, not the other way around. So this isn't healthy people happen to walk fast. This is walking fast helps make you healthy. The same line of research found something even bigger. Brisk walkers had up to 20 years more life expectancy than slow walkers. 20 years. And the dose to start getting paid was tiny. As little as 10 minutes a day of brisk walking was tied to a longer life. 10 minutes. That's one phone call. That's 2 songs. That's walking to the end of your street and back like you actually mean it. 10 minutes of moving with purpose and your hidden clock starts to slow down. Every brisk day pushes your pace line back up. Now let me take you back to Fauja Singh, the broken old man in the chair, 89 years old. He'd lost his wife, lost his son, and given up. Do you remember what I told you lifted him back up? Here it is. He started to walk. That's it. That was the whole secret. He got up and he started walking. Then he started to run. And at the age of 89, the man who as a child could not walk until he was 5, the man who had just buried his family, ran his first marathon. 89 years old, 26 miles, and he didn't stop. At 100 years old, Fauja Singh became the first person ever recorded to finish a full
Marathon at 100. The little boy with legs too weak to carry him was still running, past a century of life.
Now hear me, I am not telling you to go run a marathon. Please don't. The point is simpler, and it's for you. The hands of the clock moved for a grieving man in his 90s. They moved that far, that late, after that much loss. So don't you dare tell yourself it's too late for you. If they moved for Fauja, they can move for you, this week, at whatever age you are right now. And it's not just one extraordinary man. There are whole towns built on this. In the mountains of Sardinia, an island off Italy, there are villages with some of the highest numbers of men living past 100 anywhere on Earth. Scientists went hunting for their secret. It wasn't a magic food. It wasn't a pill. A huge part of it was simply this. These people walk. They walk for miles every day, up and down steep hills, deep into old age, because that's just how life works there. A lifetime of brisk daily walking, baked right into the day. Their hidden clocks run slow because
Their feet never stop. So now you understand both sides of the line. A slow pace is a warning light on your whole body, ticking in silence. A brisk pace is one of the simplest, cheapest, most powerful ways to add years that has ever been found. The fence between them is the pace line, and it's finally time to find yours. Here's your test. I want you to actually do this, not just watch me talk. Pause if you need to. This works whether you're 40 or 80.
First, find a clear stretch of floor in your home, about 13 feet long. If that's hard to picture, it's roughly the length of a small car, or about 5 of your normal steps. A hallway works, a living room works. Move the chair, move the cat, clear the path. Second, pick a start point and a finish point in your head. A doorway here, a table leg there, anything you can aim at. Third, get something that counts seconds. The clock on your phone is perfect. Or just count it out loud the way you did as a kid. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. Now here's the key, and most people cheat without meaning to. Walk it at your normal pace. Not your proud pace. Not the speed you'd use if a doctor was watching you. Your everyday walking to the fridge pace. Be honest, because the honest number is the one that protects you.
Walk your 13 feet. Count the seconds from your first step to your last. If you crossed it in about 4 seconds or faster, you're on the strong side of the pace line. Your hidden clock is ticking slow. That's the good side. Your job is to keep it there. If it took you around 5 seconds or more to cover that little stretch, you're sitting under the line. Now hear me clearly. That is not a death sentence. It's a tap on the shoulder. It means your clock has sped up, and it means you caught it today while you can still do something about it. Most people never get this warning at all. You just did. And if you couldn't tell, walk it twice more and take the middle number. Your real pace is the one you land on when you stop trying.
While we're at it, here are 2 quick bonus checks because your legs aren't the only hands on the clock. Try standing up from a chair without using your hands. Arms crossed. Stand, sit, stand, sit. If that's a real fight, your leg power has faded, and leg power feeds your pace. And try opening a tight jar. The strength in your grip tracks with how long people live too. Same clock, same story, told 3 different ways by 3 different parts of you. So let's say you did the walk, and you didn't love your number. Maybe it was 5 seconds, maybe 6. I don't want you to feel doomed. I want you to feel aimed, because the whole gift of this number is that you can change it. So here's exactly how to push your pace line back up, starting this week, in plain steps anybody can follow. Step 1, add the 10. Every single day, take 10 minutes and walk like you're a little bit late. No.
To jogging. Not gasping, just walking with some snap in it, where you could still talk but you'd rather not sing. That brisk feeling is the whole medicine. 10 minutes, that's where the science says the payments start. Step 2. Once a day, walk faster than feels natural for just 30 seconds. Then ease back down. Your body learns the higher gear by spending time in the higher gear. You're teaching your engine that fast is normal again.
Step 3. Build the legs that carry you. Stand up and sit down from a solid chair 10 times in a row, once or twice a day. No hands if you can manage it. This one move rebuilds the exact muscles that set your pace. It's free, it's quiet, and it works at any age. Step 4. Stand on one leg while you brush your teeth. Switch legs halfway through. Balance is part of speed because a body that's afraid of falling chooses to walk slow. Steady feet give you permission to move. Step 5. Look down at your shoes. Wear ones that grip and support. So many people walk slow for the dumbest reason in the world. Their feet hurt or their shoes betray them. Fix the feet and the pace often comes back on its own. None of that needs a gym. None of it needs money. None of it needs you to be young. Remember Fauja, running at 100. The body answers when you ask it to move. It almost always answers. And here's the quiet magic of it. When your pace goes up, it's not only your legs getting better. Your walk is the reading of everything, remember? So as you train your pace, your heart gets stronger. Your lungs open up. Your balance sharpens. More blood reaches your brain. Your mood lifts. You're not just walking faster. You're dragging your whole body back toward younger. The hands of the clock move back because everything behind them moved back too. Let me carry you back to where we started. Those few steps to your kitchen. At the start of this, that little walk felt like nothing. Now you know the truth. Those steps are a live reading of your heart, your lungs, your brain, your nerves, your muscles, all at once. Your hidden clock has been ticking this whole time, in plain sight, in the speed of your own feet. So you've got a choice.
And it's a real one. You can leave your pace line where it is and let it slide, slow and silent, the way it does for almost everyone, year after year, with no warning at all. Or you can grab it, 10 minutes a day, a chair you stand up from, a street you cross with time to spare, and you can take the hands of that clock and turn them back toward younger, one brisk walk at a time, one honest thing before you go. This isn't a diagnosis, and I'm not your doctor. If your test worried you, or if walking hurts, talk to a real one. Take this as a push to move, not a reason to panic.
But do the walk today, 13 feet. Count the seconds. Find your line. Because the most powerful health number you own isn't sitting in a lab somewhere. It's in your legs, and it's been waiting your whole life for you to finally read it. If you made it all the way to here, you already care about your future more than most people ever will. So do one small thing for me. Drop a single word in the comments so I know who's in. Just type it. Pace. That's it. That tells me you're going to walk a little faster starting today. And keep your eye on that crosswalk. Next time the light counts down, race it. Beat it. That little race, again and again, that's you choosing more years. One brisk walk at a time.